From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio with Jacob Unruh, OSU basketball writer. Jacob, the postseason has arrived. Big 12 tournament starting later this week in Kansas City. Cowboys will play on the opening day against Iowa State, a team they just played, 10 days ago or so. But after that obliteration of Texas on Saturday, things look at least interesting for the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, they don't feel like they're out of any kind of postseason scenario. They feel like just go win, keep playing as long as you can, and they're going to get rewarded for that. Obviously, I think the NIT is a lock at this point. The NCAA is still a long shot, but it's not. Things could get crazy this week if OSU does continue that road of winning. And what we saw for them Saturday against Texas, that's the team that we saw in November in Brooklyn when they won the NIT tournament there.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of team that's capable of making a run and making some noise for a Big 12 conference that its top dogs, other than Kansas, have kind of struggled the last few weeks.
Well, and obviously Texas had something to do with looking the way Oklahoma State did, but Oklahoma State had a lot to do with that too, the way that they were defending, the way they were attacking offensively. So this game against Iowa State, and then you know that the winner of that game plays Kansas. So the opportunity for Oklahoma State to win, if they win both of those games, net rating is one of those things that everybody talks about now as it relates to NCAA tournament. Where do the Cowboys sit right now, and what could 1 or 2 wins potentially do in that regard?
They entered yesterday with they jumped from 71 to 61 in the net rating. Just 10. That's a big jump after beating Texas on Saturday.
Yeah.
If they can get Iowa State and Kansas, they win both those games, they're going to jump probably 15 more points. That puts them in the top 50, and the top 50 is really what the NCAA really considers hard for the tournament.
Yeah, and if that happens, they would be 19-14. They would have that obviously early in the season resume that would look good. What would the NCAA committee be looking at that point if they would get those 2? And we're not just saying 1; we're saying probably have to get 2. What would the NCAA selection committee, in your mind, what are they balancing? What are they saying as a plus? What are they saying as a negative?
They have to look at. I mean, the non-conference schedule OSU played was really good. That's going to help them. Their strength of schedule was really high. I think the committee's going to have to take in the fact that Isaac likely missed a month. I think they're going to look at that and say their key player missed a month, and that put everything out of whack, but now he's back. They're playing their best basketball again. Maybe that comes into consideration. Again, this is a very long shot.
Right.
I mean, you've got to beat Kansas to get any kind of conversation here. But to me, that's what it looks like. But at the NIT, I think, is a clinch right now.
Well, let's talk NIT for just a second. Would that be a potential home game, maybe a couple potential home games for Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I think so. I think latest bracketology, because there is such a thing for the NIT, had OSU as a 2 seed.
Okay.
And that would get them a home game, at least the first 2 rounds if they win. I think they can get up to 3 home games before you head to New York for the semis and the championship. And so there's possibilities there that Gallagher is not done for the season.
Lastly, let's talk about this Iowa State game, because you don't get to beat Kansas potentially unless you beat Iowa State. Oklahoma State really took care of them this last go-around. What's important in your mind for the Cowboys to make sure that they have that chance to advance? I
think they need to look at what they did last time, right, and they need to make some more adjustments. Iowa State's going to adjust. Iowa State got banged up Saturday. Which is another interesting. They were already without Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
So what is Iowa State's status going into this game again? But I think if OSU continues to play like they played Saturday with that aggressive defense and that attacking mode offense that opened up the 3-pointers, everything that they wanted to do, I don't know that Iowa State can even keep up.
Well, it's a 6 o'clock start on Wednesday. Oklahoma State and Iowa State will open the Big 12 tournament. They'll be the first game up. We'll be there, and so you want to keep on following us. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at Oklahoman.com and every day in the Oklahoman.